When it comes to the relationships we hold most dear, particularly with family and friends, we often assume they will be sources of support, love, and understanding. However, this idealized view sometimes fails to account for the darker, more destructive elements that can seep into those very relationships. There are certain behaviors, sometimes subtle and sometimes more overt, that can signal that you are dealing with individuals who do not have your best interest at heart. In many ways, these toxic traits can be likened to the metaphorical demons in the lives of others, hidden, dangerous, and capable of leading us down paths we never intended to go. These behaviors, when not recognized, can deeply undermine your peace of mind and personal growth. One of the first signs you might encounter is manipulation. Demons in the form of manipulation are subtle and often disguised as concern or care. These individuals may use guilt to control your actions, make you feel responsible for their emotions, or play on your insecurities. The manipulation can manifest in many ways, turning the tables during an argument, making you feel like you owe them something, or causing you to question your own reality. Manipulation is an insidious trait because it often plays on your kindness and trust, taking advantage of your empathy to get what they want. Another key indicator is the presence of narcissism. Narcissism doesn't necessarily mean outright arrogance or self-centeredness. It can be more insidious than that. Individuals who exhibit narcissistic traits often demand admiration, attention, and affirmation, yet give nothing in return. They view relationships as transactional, where you exist solely to fulfill their needs and desires. They are experts at draining your energy and attention without offering genuine emotional connection in return. Over time, these individuals will strip away your sense of self-worth, subtly convincing you that you exist solely for their validation. You may find yourself constantly trying to prove your worth, while they remain emotionally distant or indifferent to your own needs. Jealousy and resentment are other key signs to watch for. It is natural for people to feel envious from time to time, but when jealousy becomes a constant theme in a relationship, it can be incredibly destructive. Family members or friends who harbor jealousy will often undermine your success, criticize your achievements, or dismiss your aspirations. Their resentment toward your growth and happiness will manifest in passive-aggressive remarks or attempts to belittle your accomplishments. This form of emotional manipulation is toxic because it keeps you tethered to their negative energy, preventing you from fully realizing your potential. A true, supportive relationship thrives on mutual growth and encouragement, not competition and sabotage. Deceptiveness and dishonesty can also signal the presence of toxic energy. Relationships based on lies, omissions, or distortion of the truth are inherently unstable and unsafe. When you notice that someone in your life consistently lies or hides the truth, whether about small things or large issues, you are dealing with someone who is not being forthright. Deception erodes trust, which is the cornerstone of any meaningful relationship. These individuals might tell you what they think you want to hear, manipulate the facts to serve their agenda, or simply avoid difficult conversations altogether. This ongoing dishonesty not only harms your relationship with them, but it also creates an environment of suspicion and distrust, making it difficult to feel secure in any interaction. Another hallmark of toxic individuals is their need for control. These individuals will try to dominate every situation, often to the point of smothering you or imposing their will on you. Whether it's in the form of unsolicited advice, controlling what you wear or how you behave, or trying to dictate your life choices, they will always attempt to steer the relationship in a direction that benefits them. They may act as though they know what's best for you, dismissing your autonomy and decision-making capabilities. Control in any form is a powerful red flag. Relationships built on control rather than mutual respect and understanding will only lead to dissatisfaction and bitterness. Lastly, a lack of empathy or compassion is a glaring indicator of a toxic individual. People who are incapable of seeing the world from your perspective, who don't show concern when you're going through hard times, or who are indifferent to your emotional needs are not people you want to keep close. Relationships require empathy to thrive. The ability to understand, feel, and respond to another's suffering is vital in any healthy bond. Without empathy, individuals become self-serving, unable or unwilling to recognize their impact on others. Over time, this lack of emotional depth will make it nearly impossible for the relationship to be fulfilling or meaningful. Spotting these toxic behaviors is crucial to maintaining your well-being and personal growth. When you encounter them, it's important to evaluate whether this relationship is worth preserving or whether it's time to set firm boundaries. Sometimes, the best thing you can do for your own mental health and growth is to step back, limit contact, or even sever ties with those who continuously bring negativity into your life. Relationships, especially with family and close friends, should be based on mutual respect, trust, and support. When these qualities are absent, the relationship becomes nothing more than a drain on your energy, preventing you from living your best life and fulfilling your potential. It's essential to recognize when a relationship has become toxic and take proactive steps to protect yourself from the demons that may be hiding within it. Jealousy and resentment are among the most corrosive emotions in human relationships, capable of silently eroding trust, connection, and mutual respect. When these emotions are present in someone close to you, they can create a toxic dynamic where competition replaces cooperation and sabotage takes the place of support. At their core, jealousy and resentment are reflections of insecurity, where individuals feel threatened by the success or happiness of others. Instead of celebrating your victories, they view them as a reminder of what they feel they lack, leading to negative emotions that impact the relationship. Jealousy often stems from a deep-seated fear of inadequacy or failure. When someone experiences jealousy, it is typically a sign that they feel as though they are not measuring up to some standard, be it social, professional, or personal. Rather than recognizing this as an opportunity for self-reflection and improvement, they allow the emotion to fester and turn into resentment. This resentment then manifests in ways that harm both themselves and the people around them. The jealousy becomes less about genuine admiration for your success and more about their own inability to feel content with where they are in life. Resentment, on the other hand, is often the long-term consequence of jealousy left unchecked. Over time, these negative feelings accumulate, creating an undercurrent of bitterness that infects every interaction. Rather than expressing genuine happiness for others, the person holds on to grievances, real or imagined, and allows them to shape their behavior. They may start to subtly undermine you by offering backhanded compliments, making sarcastic remarks, or even diminishing your accomplishments in front of others. This can make you feel like your success is not truly appreciated, or worse, that it is a source of contention. When jealousy and resentment become ingrained in a relationship, it is important to recognize that these feelings are not simply a reflection of the other person's behavior, but also of their internal struggles. These emotions are often rooted in feelings of inadequacy, low self-worth, and a lack of self-acceptance. They are an attempt to assert control over something they feel they cannot achieve themselves. Instead of addressing their own limitations, they project their frustration outward, directing it toward those who remind them of their perceived failures. The presence of jealousy and resentment in a relationship is often marked by a pattern of one-upmanship. For example, they may attempt to overshadow your achievements by highlighting their own successes in an exaggerated way. This creates an environment where it feels as though there is no room for both parties to thrive. Instead of supporting each other and celebrating mutual growth, the relationship becomes a zero-sum game where someone's success feels like a loss for the other. In such situations, any accomplishment you achieve may be met with dismissiveness or criticism, as though it were somehow undeserved or trivial. One of the most destructive aspects of jealousy and resentment is that they can breed distrust. When you sense that someone is envious of your success, it can be hard to feel safe or supported in the relationship. You may begin to question whether their praise is sincere or if they are secretly resentful of you. This erodes the foundation of trust that is essential for any healthy relationship. Without trust, it becomes increasingly difficult to maintain a genuine connection, as the fear of judgment or undermining can take over your interactions. Furthermore, jealousy and resentment can manifest in passive-aggressive behavior. Instead of openly addressing their feelings, individuals might choose to express their dissatisfaction through indirect means. This might involve making hurtful comments disguised as jokes, intentionally leaving you out of social situations, or withholding support when you need it most. These subtle actions create an atmosphere of tension and discomfort, making it difficult for both parties to communicate honestly and openly. In relationships where jealousy and resentment are present, it can become hard to maintain healthy boundaries. These emotions often lead to an unhealthy sense of entitlement, where the jealous individual feels that they should have access to your time, attention, and energy regardless of the impact on your well-being. They may guilt trip you into prioritizing them over your own needs, using your success or happiness as a weapon to manipulate you into staying in a state of imbalance. The impact of jealousy and resentment is not limited to just the individual experiencing these emotions. It also takes a toll on the person they are directed toward. Over time, you may find yourself feeling drained or demotivated, as if you are constantly walking on eggshells, trying to avoid triggering further resentment. You might start questioning your worth or doubting whether your success is valid. This emotional exhaustion can diminish your sense of self-confidence and make it more difficult to fully enjoy your achievements. In some cases, jealousy and resentment can turn into outright hostility. When these emotions are left unchecked, they can lead to outright attacks on your character, your abilities, or your decisions. The envious individual may try to undermine your reputation, spread rumors, or publicly criticize you. This is an extreme form of emotional sabotage, designed to tear down the person who is viewed as a threat to their fragile self-esteem. It is important to recognize when these behaviors cross the line into toxic manipulation and to take steps to protect yourself emotionally and psychologically. The path to healing from jealousy and resentment often requires self-awareness and introspection. For the individual harboring these emotions, recognizing that their feelings are rooted in personal insecurities is the first step in addressing the issue. It is important to reflect on why they feel envious and what deeper needs are being unmet. For those who are the target of these emotions, it is essential to establish boundaries and ensure that their accomplishments are not diminished by the toxic influence of others. A relationship built on mutual support and encouragement is one where both parties celebrate each other's success without fear of jealousy or resentment. Ultimately, the presence of jealousy and resentment in a relationship signals a deeper issue that needs to be addressed.